My name's Dave DeBow, founder of MoneyPartnerFormula.com, and this show is built for everyday real estate investors who are actively doing deals and looking to scale using other people's money. So if you're an active real estate investor and you want to get featured on this show to talk about your own real estate and capital raising experiences, then just go to daveinterviewsyou.com. Now let's get rolling with this episode, and remember to subscribe for daily interview content. Hey folks, welcome back. Today, zooming in from Boise, Idaho, we have a very experienced real estate entrepreneur, John Robinson. He's got an I Buy Houses business in Portland, Oregon, even though nowadays he lives back in Boise, but he's running his business from a distance in Portland. We're going to be talking about doing flips, finding deals, all that kind of good stuff. So John, welcome to the show. Great to have you.
Yeah, thanks for having me, Dave. I'm glad to be here.
So give me a little snapshot. What does real estate investing look like for you 2025? We're at the beginning of the year. What does your real estate investing business look like, John?
Yeah, well, like you mentioned, I just recently moved back to Boise, Idaho, left here 20 years ago, and now back. So kind of setting up shop here in the Treasure Valley market, primarily wholesaling, fix and flips, and creative deals. But I still have a full-fledged business up and running in the Portland market, Portland, Vancouver, Washington. And in addition to I've got a couple of flips up and running there now, wholesaling. I also have been teaching a real estate meetup once a month for, I think it's about 4 years now. And we've actually got enough people asking where I'm actually starting to do some coaching and mentoring. I have a little 2-day event I'm doing there. So it feels like it feels weird. I'm here in Idaho, but most of the things that are happening
Business is happening back in Oregon.
exactly.
That's exciting stuff. All right, John, lots that we can unwrap here. First thing I want to talk about. So what kind of volume of transactions are you typically doing in a year? Let's focus on Portland because that's where you've been for the longest time. So between flips and wholesale type deals, give us an idea. What's the kind of volume that you typically do?
Yeah, it's gone up and down quite a bit,
Yeah.
different stages, as you know. But I say on average, I'm doing at least a couple dozen wholesales every year, and then I always have, it seems like, at least 2 or 3 flips going at any given time. So I've done a lot. I decided I was going to start being more particular about what kind of flips I do. So maybe that's part of my hopefully part of my growth process, but I'm starting to get a little more picky about what I flip. But yeah, I'd say probably anywhere between at least 6 flips every year, and 6 to 10. And then I've always got a couple of wholesale transactions in the pipeline.
Okay. So a couple things I want to ask about there. So when it comes to your flips, you got 3 on the go right now. Are these your own teams that are working on your deals? Do you subcontract that out? How does that typically work?
Yeah. Well, my background is as a commercial and residential contractor keeps me from subbing too much out. And
You just can't stand it, right?
yeah, I just told my wife this morning, actually, I was like, I'm so sick of, I'm going to go put my tool bags on and get off this computer. But so yeah, I have a lot of familiarity with construction. That's pretty much what I did since I was a kid with my dad. So it makes it hard for me to just sub everything out. However,
Yeah.
I've learned my time is not best spent, or at least it's not valued best being out on the job all the time. So I do have a pretty good list of subs that I use. And then I recently, last couple of years, just started JVing with people. So I'm kind of walking them through how to do a flip or how to do manage a project. I'm bringing them in as, partners. So I'm doing a little more coaching and then having them go out and find the subs. So they're really getting the experience of learning what to do, but they're not doing it completely on their own. They have somebody with experience looking over their shoulder.
Yeah, that's smart. That's really smart. Okay, so that was lots of things that we can go into there. Next question I got for you. What are you finding these days works best for you for finding deals, doing lead generation, finding these motivated sellers for either flips or wholesale deals?
Most of my deals nowadays are coming organically through partnerships because of my monthly real estate meetup. So one of my mentors, Pace Morby, a lot of people know him, real
Mhm.
estate space. He told me in 2021, hey, you should start a meetup. And I was like, networking is for people that don't know how to work, so but I did it because you pay a mentor, you want to do what they say. So I went back and started a meetup, and what's happened is because of giving value and kind of being in the community for on a consistent basis, our meetup has grown. And what I end up finding is I have a lot of people that come that are really getting into the real estate world. They're watching the YouTube videos. They might even have a $250 course that they bought from 5 years ago, and so they get a deal under contract or they get a hot lead and they don't know what to do with it. So I partner with a lot of those people. So most of my leads nowadays are organic, coming from my own network there in Portland.
Very cool. So good thing you took Pace's advice.
Yeah, exactly. Seems like
He's
he
a
knows what he's doing.
he's a smart guy. Yeah, I met him at a capital raising event I attended a few months ago, I think before Christmas. Yeah, in Houston. So yeah, very, very sharp gentleman. So walk me through the whole meetup thing. How did you start that meetup? How did you get the word out about it? When did you start it? How many people were coming out initially, and how many do you have coming out these days?
Yeah, that's a great question. I think might be helpful for your listeners too, because this is kind of an unkept secret. I think that people should do. First of all, I had never done it before. Like I said, I was a construction guy, got into real estate, was thinking this is stupid. But what I did was I started a meetup. I started a local Facebook group, right? So I
Okay.
started a community that was with an emphasis on local. So my Facebook group in the Portland area is PDX, REI group. And what I found is that if you take that acronym for your local community, it's almost always available as a like
So
so.
that's the
PDX,
airport plus real
yeah,
estate group, right? Yeah, got
And
it.
PDX is generally referred. People refer to Portland as PDX. So
Yeah.
yeah, then I took that and I just started inviting people out. Just anybody that I knew on Facebook, anybody I was friends with, I started posting. As that group began to grow, I would talk to people. Hey, what are you looking for? What do you need help with in the Facebook group?
Yeah.
After we got about 25 people to join, I just said, hey, we're all here in the Portland area. Let's get together and, share some thoughts. And so we had a local restaurant we met in. We did that for a couple of months, and that actually kept on growing to the point where we outgrew the restaurant. So then I went to my title company and I said, hey, I've got this group of people. If you guys can help me out with a space where we can meet in, then I'll make sure I give you guys all the referrals for business on deals they close. And
Nice.
so, using that kind of collaborative approach, I actually was able to really get a really good space through my title company that I'm able to use every month for completely for free. I just have to reserve it through them. But
Yeah.
it's grown to, I think we have for next week, we have over 100 people that are signed up, getting ready to come out.
Wow.
So, yeah.
So yeah, I've done meetups before. So if you got 100 signed up, how many actually show up?
Well, we have 100 signed up as going, and then we have about another 25 registered as interested. So I would say, and this is not a humble brag or anything. It's just, because I've been there consistently, because I do it for free and I feed everybody. I look at it as it's part of a marketing cost.
Yeah.
I could do marketing in a lot of different ways. I feed everybody, people come out. So I would say if I have 50 people signed up as for sure coming, I'll have 60 people show up
Oh,
uh,
wow. Yeah.
because I generate a lot of interest through posts in my group, and then I also ask people while they're at the meetup. I said, hey, everybody, pull out your phones, take a picture, make a quick little post on your timeline that you're here. And so we've had a lot of organic growth. When I was first starting, I did actually pay for a couple of paid sponsors.
Hmm.
But that was just something that we did initially. We haven't really needed to do that lately.
Smart. Very, very smart. Just curious, John, because I ran a local real estate meetup here for a while as well, years actually. So when you're feeding people, what do you get them to eat? Are you
Yeah.
going out to Subway and getting a whole bunch of sandwich platters, or what does
Yeah,
food look like?
we've
Yeah.
done we've done the Costco thing.
Yeah.
Pizza's always a big hit. I
Yeah.
mean, pizza will always get eaten.
Yeah.
I've done, Chick-fil-A, their catering stuff. We've done Panda Express. The idea is try to get a gauge for through the event page on Facebook, or you can use up meetup.com or something. Try to get a gauge for how many people to expect, and then buy food for about that many.
Hmm.
And some people won't eat because of allergies and stuff, but for the most part, I'm in the $300 range per month that I
Nice.
spend on
Yeah.
food and bottled water. It's
And you're
not
not
bad
paying
at all.
anything for the room, so
Yeah,
that's awesome. Yeah, that's
yeah.
not bad at all. Very, very, yeah, very clever, very smart. And what does your Facebook group look like now? How many people do you have as part of the Facebook group?
We're just shy of 3,000 people in our
Yes.
Facebook group. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, and then I've started the same concept here in Idaho. When I knew I was going to be moving here last year, we went ahead and just opened up, Treasure Valley TVREI group.
Mhm.
Got about 200, 300 people in there so far. And
Nice.
once I'm more established here, I'll start doing monthly meetups. But I've already done the same exact thing. I've gone to a local title company. I've got a space picked out. They've already said, yeah, we'd love to have that. Just use it. It's there. So,
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
it actually works. I'm able to duplicate it. So
That's really, really smart. Well, congratulations on that, John. I'm sure the new one will just, now that you really know what you're doing,
yeah,
you got it dialed in. It'll grow very, very quickly. Awesome. What are your plans for this coming year? I mean, you're in a new old place, but you
yeah.
come back home, but it's new to you for real estate investing. What are your goals for 2025?
Yeah, I have a couple of things that are kind of on my target. I'd like to get into maybe some development and new construction build. New construction's been my go-to. I grew up doing framing and building spec homes with my dad. So I'd like to find some residential lots here that I could, get off-market stuff and then build spec homes. And then, like I said, I've kind of got this a little bit of a coaching, mentoring thing going on. What happened was about 5 years ago is when I first met Pace Morby before anybody really knew who Pace was, and I spent 2 days with him down in Arizona. And the idea of being in the room with him, he had a little storefront office. He was just running around doing seller appointments and stuff. But it kind of like clicked with me, like, hey, I could do this. So I'm taking that same principle and I'm calling it my proximity event where people can kind of get in close. I've got 2 or 3 speakers coming in. In fact, I've got Pace coming in to speak at my event. And I think I'm going to try to do one a quarter, do like a little event like this, kind of a small handful of people,
Yeah.
get in proximity, get in close, and then help them with their business. Because I know how much it helped me 5 years ago. So that's something that's kind of heavy on my, I'd really like to start helping people move the needle forward as opposed to just, talk about it, but not actually see them make any progress. So
Yeah. Yeah. Which you must see a lot of in that group, right?
yeah,
You do.
exactly. That's kind of
You're,
what spurred it on.
yeah. I remember back in the day, that's what drove me nuts about home study courses and stuff like this.
Yeah.
You'd pour your heart and soul into this course, give it to people, they have everything they need, and they'd promptly
Yep.
go out and do nothing.
Yeah, exactly.
But if you take them by the hands, like you're going to be doing, which is smart, and like actually a day in the life kind of thing where they can
Yeah.
vicariously see, hey, this isn't as tough as I had it in my brain.
Yeah.
It's real, it's doable. Yeah, it'll be much more successful.
Yeah. And
Awesome,
that's
John.
to that point, that's actually been, I mean, I never really thought about doing that until I started having people ask. But the interesting thing about the meetup is it's given me the credibility
Yeah.
because I've been doing that meetup and I've been doing deals with people in my group. Now that I'm actually offering the opportunity to come alongside and do that with me, I think I put it out there like 597 a piece, for 2 days with me, and I had like 10
Wow.
people sign up immediately. So,
Oh, for sure. Yeah. That's
it works because people know me. They do business with people they know, like, and trust. So that's
well,
kind of been
plus,
helpful.
quite frankly, that's a bargain, man.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
that's
thought so
that
too.
is
But
that is a bargain.
first time doing it, so I didn't know what to
Yeah,
say. I
no, it's
just
good. Yeah, yeah. Do it like that's a smart way to do it. John, if people want to connect with you, where should they go?
probably Instagram is the best place. John Buys Houses on Instagram is the easiest place to find me.
Awesome. Thanks for being on the show. It's been a lot of fun, John.
Yeah, thanks, Dave. Appreciate you.
And welcome back home. And I hope things go really well with you with the new business in the old location. That's great.
Yeah, appreciate that. Thank
All
you.
right, everybody, take care. We'll see you on the next episode. Hey there, I really hope you enjoyed that episode. And as always, if you want to listen to more daily interview content, make sure you subscribe. And if you're an active real estate investor and you're doing deals and you'd like to get featured on this show, then just head over to daveinterviewyou.com. Now at moneypartnerformula.com, we help real estate investors to create a process for predictably getting capital so they can do more deals without relying on hard money lenders or the banks. We do this by building them a private capital marketing system. Now, if you want help turning yourself into a big money capital attraction machine, then book a call with our team to see how we can help. Just visit moneypartnerformula.com to find out more. All right, take care, and we'll see you on the next interview.